So in today's session, we are going to discuss some mathematical equations and background there. And this topic name is linear regression, right? So do you have any idea regarding linear regression? Have you heard before? What is the linear? Okay. So actually this regression is about first it is being processed on continuous dataset, right? So what is continuous dataset? Which is having some range in between 0 to 10, and this is range for age, right? The person age lies between 0 to 10, right? Which means person is having 0 age means he is just born, right? If he is 0.1 means he is just 1 day long. Is he is 1 means 1 years old, 2 years old, 3.5 years old. He might be 3.9 years old, right? Or he might be 8 years old, 9.2 years old, or 10 years old. Is it fine? This should be probability for my entire data set. There is no certain fixed value in between 0 to 10 which I can say this is the class 1 or class 2, which means continuously I am having data set in between the minimum and the maximum value. This is the region, this is called continuous data set. Now second example, let me take another example. This is the first example. In the second example, you are taking the salary of employee, right? So the salary of employee may be 15,500 to 1,25,000. Can you guess any number in between 15,500 to 12,000 to 1,25,000 rupees? This is in INR, Indian rupees. Can you guess? Yes, but your guess might be random, right? This might not whole number. This might be some 16,575 paisa. Is it? Is it the money? Yes, this might be the salary of any employee if he is calculating some interest or sometimes GST calculation there, right? Percentage GST. You can see in hotel bill also, we can see in petrol pump also, we can see this negative decimal value in our amount also, right? In either case, you can see this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. In between these two terms, I cannot predict easily any value, or the all the numbers will be continuously increasing or decreasing. Do you agree my point? So this is the definition of continuous data set. Do you have any doubt? Okay. Now let me take another example for home sale prediction. For home sale prediction, let me take some other features. For example, these features are sale price. What is the cost of my value? And this sale price is depending upon different parameters, right? What are these parameters? Let me give this beta 0. This is the beta 1. This is the square meter area, plus this is the beta 2 multiplied by number of bedrooms in my flat. All right. Now, what is the sale price of my flat? It depends upon these many features. let's say I'll call it sale price SP. This would be equivalent to beta 0 plus beta 1 plus into square meter. Let's say this is the 100 square meter. My flat is 100 square meter plus beta 2 is the another factor. And let me take the bedroom. I am having 4 bedroom in my society, right? Now I suppose this beta 1 is the 1 plus beta 2 is having 2 value, and 100 plus beta 2 is having 3 into 4. I'll come up like what is the beta 1, beta 0 and beta 1, but let me assume these are the values of my hypothesis value. So this is 1 plus 200 plus 12, and this would be 213, let's say, lakhs amount, right? So the selling price of my flat would be 213 lakh, or selling price would be 2 crore 13 lakhs. Can I say this thing? So this is the amount on which I can sell my property, on which we are getting the money or amount in INR. All right. So again, come to the point. What is the beta 0 and beta 1 here? Beta 0 is the intercept concept, right? So intercept concept, I'll come again this point. Intercept this concept, intercept coefficient, not the concept. This is the intercept coefficient. And what is the beta 1? Beta 1 is slope. Beta 1 to beta 2 are slopes, right? Slope coefficients. Now moving towards the mathematical background, we have some let me create this line first, and the another axis, right? And beyond this axis I am having this line equation, right? Now this line equation says y is equal to mx plus c, right? We have seen this mathematical equation in class 10th or class 9th, 11th, 12th also. This is the line equation where we have seen this as a C concept, right? C means the interception, y intercept, right? We have this C intercept, right? If this line will passing through the origin here, this is the x-axis, and here we have y-axis, right? If this line will passing through origin only, so the C value will be 0. But now, as of now, we have some intersection value there. So we will have y is equal to mx plus c, some constant. Now what is m here? M is actually slope, which is being calculated by tan of theta. So what is tan of theta? Tan of theta is, if you create the horizontal line here and create some value theta here, and then you will find this theta angle. This theta angle would be tan theta of my slope value, right? Let's say tan theta is 45 degree. So this tan 45 degree would be 1, right? So this is the assumption. Now, the another example or another formula to calculate the slope is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, where these y2 and y1 are two different points upon my line equation, right? Suppose, coming back to the line again, suppose this line intercept at 2 points. passing through these 2 points, and these 2 points are x1, y1, and this second point is x2, y2. Anyhow, if I know these 2 points, then I can get the slope value from here, right? So in this case, let's say x1 would be 3 comma 5, I'm assuming, and x2 is equal to 6 comma 7. So I'll write m value as again y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. That would be equivalent to y2, that is 7 minus 5 upon 6 minus 3, right? It would be equal to 2 upon 3, right? So this would be around 6 7, right? So m would be 6 7, slope would be 0.67. Now we have this slope value and we have c value, let's say. So the y value would be, y equation would be, I'm assuming this c as a, let's say, 3, right? So we have mx plus c. Let me put these two value. So we have 0.67 into x plus 3, right? Now let me calculate the selling price again. If this selling price is depending upon number of rooms only, number of rooms in my flat, so I can say this x will be my feature place, number of count in my flat, plus 3. If you will tell how many rooms in your flat, I will tell what is the selling price for my value. Let's say you just tell me that I am having 3 rooms in my flat. So I'll put 3 in at the place of number of rooms and will get this value, right? So this would be the amount for my selling price value in INR. Is this sufficient for you? Like, are you getting this point? What is the linear regression and how we are calculating this entire value? Are you getting this point? Right? Okay. So let me define one more thing. Let me define one more thing. Suppose, okay, so we don't have any line equation here. We don't have any value. Now, we suppose we have some x data here. Now we are in the data driven field, right? So what is the data driven field? So data driven world, we means we have only data in our hand, nothing else. What is the meaning of this sentence? The meaning of this sentence is you are gathering this x and you are giving this y reciprocally. Let's say you are giving this the salary of employee, like the experience of employee is this one, and salary of employee will be calculated by y, right? So I have previous data set in my hand. So what I'll do, I have this 3 5 7 8 9 and let's say 2, right? And random data set again. So as per salary here, I am having, let's say, this salary in let's say this is 2, this is 3 LPA, this is 5 LPA, this is, let me make 7 LPA, let me make it is a 11 LPA, and let me make it 1 LPA. So salary in LPA is defined given in the y coordinate, lakh per annum. This is the data set given my terms. So let me recap again. We have this data set only. The data driven world, you have only data set. In the CSV column, in the Excel sheet, and in the experience and salary only, this is the dependent column, right? This is called independent column. Why? We will calculate the salary, we will analyze the salary on the basis of experience of employee. All right. So you will tell me how many experience you will have in your past experience, and I will offer the salary in my company. This is the real scenario. So for some potential benefits, I'm going to predict the salary of my employee on condition that he is having this experience. Now, if you ask me what would be the salary of employee if he is having experience of, let's say, 13 years. All right. So this is the prediction part. So this column is called prediction, right? And this is the data driven only, right? Now we have two formula here. What is the formula here? We have one formula to calculate B. Let me write two formula here. B is equal to sum of y multiplication sum of x square minus sum of x into sum of xy. All right. Then divide by n times sum of x square minus sum of x whole square. Now the second formula is m is equal to n times sum of xy minus sum of x into sum of y. Divide by n times sum of x square, denominator would be same, sum of x whole square, and we will get the actually value. Now what is this formula? We have formula for y is equal to mx plus b. We have this line equation we had already discussed. Once you know this m value from this formula, once you know the b value from this formula, and you have already questioned, I had already put this question, what would be the salary of employee who is having 13 years, which means I have been asked you to calculate m times 13 plus b. But the question arises, what is the value of m and how to calculate the value of b? Did you get this question? Or you okay? So let me revise this scenario again. We have data driven. Forget about everything which I explained earlier. We are starting from the very scratch. We have data driven world. We have only two columns. First is experience of the employee. On the basis of experience, I am, as an CEO of the company, vice chancellor of the company, I am going to predict this salary. The salary, previous employee salary is this one, 3 to 2 LPA, 2 experience years experience, he will get 1 LPA and so on. More number of rows might be there, but as of for my ease, I am just writing these records for my calculations here. So for potential challenge, I am putting one question here. Salary is proportional to 13 years. Like, what is the relation between salary and experience? This is the dilemma part for me. Even now, I don't know the relationship between the salary and experience. So what is the relationship between these two? This relationship is defined by this line equation. If you know the value of m, if you know the value of b, and we had already question mark to 13 years old employee, experience old employee. So I need to calculate value of m and b. Now, how to calculate the value of n and b? Let me explore that question. Uh, let me zoom in this formula. This equation number 1, this is equation number 2. When we go for the zoom in part, sorry, this is equation number 3. When we go for the summation of y, this summation of y would be uh, 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 11 plus y. I'll sum up all these value in the y. Can you see this one? What would be the x square here? The second term x square would be 3 square plus square value of second terms of x square, this one, and second terms of 7x square plus 8 square plus 9 square plus 2 square, whatever the value will be, I don't know. The third term is summation of x. I'll take summation of x, like summation of x would be 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 2. What would be the value here? Then finally we get 2 into x, like x into y. So I'll take x into y as summation of xy term would be 2 into 3 plus 3 into 5 plus 5 into 7 plus 7 into 8 plus 11 into 9 plus 1 into 2, respective value will be multiplied and then summation would be applied and the value as it is. Can you get all these terms? And what is the value of n in our situation? We have number of n's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number of n's we have 6. Can you see this scenario? Are you with me? Are we good to go? Okay, thank you so much. So once you know the value of this one, now in the similar way we can calculate the value of m here, the value of xy, and don't worry, you don't need to calculate all these values. The mathematical or the Python code or the matplot library, scipy, numpy, pandas, all these library will calculate all these sum up, but you should know the mathematical demonstration behind this linear regression and logistic regression. अगर आपको ये समझ में आ गया, मैं आपको 100% बोलता हूं कि किसी भी कंपटीशन में आप क्लियर कर सकते हो एंड दे विल गेट टू नो दैट यू नो द बेसिक्स एंड डेप्थ नॉलेज ऑफ logistic regression, linear regression every time. Not only here only, also in your statistic, in your mathematical concept, MBA subjects, anywhere you can beat in your examination also. Even competitive examination में भी ये questions आते हैं. So for ethical consideration surrounding your knowledge, you must know these concept value. Now let me assume that we are calculating the value of m. Let's say this is the value this is the value as let's say this is the value like 11, and b I am getting value as, let's say 4, right? This is my assumption, not the exact value. So what would be the value of y? Like the line equation would be 11 times x plus 4. Is it the correct equation? Right? So once we get the equation from this line, so you can put 11 into 13 plus 4, you can get the value of how many experience of this person will have salary in INR or in LPA, right? So this is the linear regression part, right? Now let me write, this is the first formula we are going to calculate. We are going to find out the value of m and b. The m and b, this is the first formula, first way. There are either way also how to calculate the value of this one m and b. The second method is, we have second method, m would be calculated by r times sx upon sy. So what is x and what is y? R times standard deviation of x divided by standard deviation of y. In the numerator and denominator, we can put all these values. Now, coming to the more elaboration part here, we can see the Sx can be written as, this is the sample standard deviation. So we will have summation of y minus y bar whole square upon n minus 1. Similarly, sorry, this is the y sum of s of y. When we go for s of x, so this would be root square of summation of x minus x bar whole square upon n minus 1, which is the standard deviation fundamental or conventional formula, where x bar is the mean value of x, right? You sum up all these values, all 6 values, divide by 6, you will get this value here, right? Similarly, we have this y bar. So y bar would be mean of y. We will sum up all the values of y, divide by 6, we will get the mean bar. You will put these x and y bar and x respective x value, you will get x y bar and x sx bar respectively. Now coming back to the r, what is the r here? We can calculate r using formula summation of x minus x bar into y minus y bar. Denominator, we have root of x minus x bar whole square into, this is the summation part, summation of y minus y bar whole square, right? So this would be the r value, right? And again, let me write, once you get the s and r value, so you can calculate m value. So m is again r times s y upon s x, which is the standard deviation of y upon standard deviation of x. See, what is the r here? So r is called regression coefficient, regression coefficient, and this regression coefficient can be calculated using this formula. And standard deviation of y in the numerator, standard deviation of x in the denominator. Now, how to calculate the value of b? We have intercept, right? So like c is equal to y minus mx, right? Y is equal to mx plus c, or c is equal to y minus mx, right? So you can write y, we can also write y bar minus m times x bar, which is the average value of y and average value of x respectively. You can put the value of m from this equation and then you can get the value of c directly. Did you understand this concept? Yes or no? So this is the second method we are going to implement here, right? We can see it depends upon your data set and your what is your data set, what is the nature of your data set also, right? So but most of the times they are using this second method, standard deviation method, but no one can say which one is the best method, because it depends upon your dataset nature. Suppose this is the home price question, like the high school days math school, the can be presented, this is the y is equal to mx plus c, can you see? So इस एरिया पे और होम प्राइस के जो डेटा सेट है उस पर डिपेंड करेगा कि वो किस पे एक्यूरेसी ज्यादा दे रहा है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? But most of the times second method is more suitable for the linear regression, right? They are using more most of the times, right? So problem statement, machine learning with Python, linear regression with one variable. We are having one variable only, right? So I had given the example for these xy for one variable only. This is for one variable. This is for this equation is for one variable, right? And when we move up, this is again for one variable, but this question is for two variables. Can you see? Square matrix and number of bedrooms. So two independent variable, one dependent always, right? But here we have one independent and one dependent variables, right? So this is going to import the basic library. Any other query if you want to ask? Like I'll try to give that. Did I answer your question? Like theory says, or the research theory says, like the second method is method, because you will check the accuracy. You will check the accuracy for both the conditions. We have certain library, we have certain formula, certain functions inside the numpy and pandas. You just like, आप क्या करोगे, जैसे आपने एरिया निकाला है और प्राइस निकाला है, राइट? अब मैं आपसे बोलूं कि यू जस्ट कैलकुलेट द प्राइस ऑन द एरिया 5000, राइट? तो आप 5000 पे, अब आपको पता है कि 5000 पे जो एक्चुअल डेटा सेट है वो कह रहा है 8 लाख रुपीज, राइट? अब आपका पहला मेथड कह रहा है कि 8,25,000, दूसरा मेथड कह रहा है 8,05,000, और एक्चुअल डेटा है 8 लाख रुपीज. तो आप किसको बोलोगे अच्छा मेथड? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? कि आप अपने टेस्ट डेटा पे जो आपसे पूछा गया है कि ये टेस्ट डेटा लो और इस डेटा पे मुझे प्राइस बताओ कि ये एरिया का प्राइस क्या होगा, तो आप बोलोगे जो मुझे नियरेस्ट सही प्रिडिक्शन दे रहा है मैं उसी को मेथड को अच्छा बोलूंगा, मुझे दूसरे मेथड से फिर कोई मतलब नहीं है, राइट? So let me import this part. Yes, you can see. Okay, this is the home price, not the exact data set. Let me upload that home price. This is the home price, and upload, overwrite, and yes, this is the home price, area and price, only two columns. Now let me create matplotlib scatter plot so that I can check the accuracy for this value, right? And before this one, can I check the definition, like df dot shape? This is the 5 x 2, 5, 2, only 5 records are there, right? So I don't need more data set, like I need more data set, but I can predict for these 5 records on also. So can you see this 5 records is facing linear regression also, right? Can you see it's following the sum pattern? The more you will increase the area, the price is also increasing. अरे सो कभी कभी सोसाइटी में क्या होता है, आप जब भी ज्यादा हाइट पे आप चले जाते हो ना, फ्लोर्स पे, जैसे आप बोलो कि मेरा 10th फ्लोर पे सोसाइटी पे फ्लैट है, तो उसका प्राइस होगा 65 लैक्स. लेकिन अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा हाइट पे, मान लो 25th फ्लोर पे है मेरा फ्लैट, या 35th फ्लोर पे है, तब उसके कॉस्ट गिर जाते हैं. उसका रीजन क्या है कि वो बहुत लोग इतनी ऊंची हाइट पर फ्लैट लेना पसंद नहीं करते हैं. So every time this thumb rule is not working, that you are increasing number of heights, number of floors, means your price will hike. It's not same in the real life example. Are you getting this point? But as far as this area is concerned, this price is also increasing, showing linear regression there. Now we are going to drop this price term, xs is equal to columns. We are getting new definition. Are you with me? Like, are you getting this possible solution together? So this is the price column we are going to show, and this is the simple, can you see, this is the one line code which we have listed in the last 30 minutes. जो हम पिछले 30 minutes में समझ रहे थे, पाइथन ने सिर्फ उसको एक लाइन में फिनिश कर दिया. आप देख रहे हो ये कोड? आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पे एक्सट्रू फिट इंटरसेप्ट, इसने सिर्फ एक लाइन के अंदर एक इंटरसेप्ट की वैल्यू और एक वैल्यू दे दी। सिर्फ 2 लाइन के कोड में मेरा सारा मैथमेटिकल जो अभी मैंने 35 मिनट्स में पढ़ा है वो खत्म हो गया। So I want to emphasize the importance of this abstract point, abstract calculation, that you are having that cognitive behavior कि लीनियर रिग्रेशन एक्चुअली में होता क्या है, उसका कॉन्सेप्ट बनता क्या है। इंटरव्यूअर विल नेवर आस्क कि व्हाट इज द लीनियर रिग्रेशन फंक्शन एंड हाउ वुड यू फिट दिस वन। कैन यू सी, दिस इज द फिटिंग पार्ट एंड नाउ you are asked to predict price at a home with area is equal to 33 square. So I'm going to run this code. Can you see this is predicting 62 6 lakhs 28,000. Can you see this is the prediction part? Now regression coefficient, right? So I'm going to calculate this regression coefficient and this regression coefficient, and this is the here, right? Now I'm going to write mx plus b equation again. So why I'm writing this equation? So that I can put my regression coefficient here. So what is the regression coefficient here? This is the this value. Cut C. This is the this value. What is the x value? You just asked with me this 3300 area value. जो आपने अभी मुझसे क्वेश्चन पुट किया था कि 3300 एरिया स्क्वायर फिट का मतलब स्क्वायर फीट एरिया का प्राइस बताना है. सो दैट 3300 स्क्वायर फीट विल बी द एरिया पार्ट हियर, the x value here. What is the intercept value? Intercept, this calculation is giving intercept is this value, right? Can you see this one? So I am just putting or just replacing my m value and my b value here, which is automatically calculated by this library linear function object class. और इस 2 लाइन से मेरा सब कुछ कैलकुलेट हो गया, मेरा इंटरसेप्ट भी कैलकुलेट हो गया, मेरा कोफिशिएंट भी कैलकुलेट हो गया, जिसको हम m और b के नाम से भी जानते हैं. इफ आई हिट दिस कोड आई विल गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ y mx, ओ सॉरी लेट मी राइट. और अब मैं अगर इस y की वैल्यू को पुट करूं तो आप देखो ये वैल्यू आई 62871. कैन यू मैच दिस टर्म? क्या आप इस प्रिडिक्शन वैल्यू को और ये जो y की वैल्यू आई है इसको आप मैच करा सकते हो? कैन यू सी दिस वन? इज इट दी y इज इक्वल टू mx प्लस b लाइन? क्या ये है वो लाइन, राइट? अब आप देखो मैंने आपको सिर्फ इतना एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए, इतना बताने के लिए कि m और b को कैसे कैलकुलेट करें, पिछले 30 मिनट से मैं आपको लेक्चर दे रहा था. लेकिन अगर मैं डायरेक्ट कोडिंग पे आ जाता तो मेरे लिए कितने मिनट का काम था? सिर्फ 2 मिनट का काम था. मैं आपको बोलता कि भाई ये देखो ये एक फंक्शन है, यहाँ पे ये फंक्शन का क्लास है, इसको कॉल कराओगे तो तुम्हें 2 वैल्यू मिल जाएगी. अब आप इसके अंदर ऐसे ये पुट करोगे तो आपको 33 थे क्या, आपको 5500, जो कि आपके डेटा सेट में अवेलेबल नहीं है. आप देखो इनिशियली हमारे पास में एरिया 4000 तक का है, राइट? अब मैं उसको 5500 भी पूछ रहा हूं तो इसने क्या करके दे दिया, मुझे प्रेडिक्शन करके दे दिया, राइट? अब आप ये वैल्यू को कॉपी करो, ठीक है? इसको मैं यहां कॉपी करता हूं, ठीक है? अब मैंने कितना पूछा था? 5500, तो मैं 330 को इसी लाइन में सेम इक्वेशन में 550, क्योंकि मुझे अब रिलेशनशिप पता चल चुका है. The as per my data set, the relationship is according to this line y is equal to mx plus b. अब ये लाइन जैसे ही मैं हिट करूंगा और y की वैल्यू स्क्रीन पे पिट करूंगा तो देखो आप ये प्रेडिक्शन जो आया है और ये प्रेडिक्शन आया है दोनों सेम है. तो आपको सिर्फ बहुत सारे मशीन, अपने आप को बोलते हैं मैं डेटा साइंटिस्ट हूं, बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं मैं मशीन लर्निंग इंजीनियर हूं, बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि मैं जो हूं डेटा इंजीनियर हूं, मैं डेटा जो हूं हैंडलिंग करता हूं पिछले 3 साल से 4 साल से. लेकिन अगर आप उनसे ये पूछ रहे हो ना हाउ टू क्रिएट लीनियर रिग्रेशन ऑब्जेक्ट एंड व्हाट इज द मैथमेटिकल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ दिस लीनियर रिग्रेशन, I'm not sure they would be able to explain or illustrate more about these mathematical background. So this is really crucial point that you would like to emphasize mathematical operation behind every machine learning algorithm. Are you getting this point? Okay, so we have the second prediction 5000, and again we have the same value. So सेम वैल्यू में आप अगर पुट करोगे तो आपको वो वैल्यू prediction की मिल जाएगी. Now we have the area of the, you can calculate the area for more of the areas also, like they are calculating this area, and finally prediction price and this one. So prediction can Canada's capital को predict करना है when their income in 2000. There is an exercise folder in GitHub in the same library there. I'll upload in my GitHub account like what is the procedure for this assignment, right? But the thing is, did you get the relationship between this entire calculation? What is the logic behind this? This MB and the line equation, data driven world, this standard deviation, slope, coefficient. Did you get all these terms here? All right. Okay.